ॐ दक्षिणास्य समारम्भा शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमा अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ता स्मर्या गुरुपरम्परा श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। परिज्ञानाश्रम श्रीगुरुशङ्कर परिज्ञानाश्रम शङ्कर सद्गुरु केशव वामन कृष्ण पाण्डुरङ्ग आनन्द परिज्ञान गुरु सद्यो जात शङ्कर सद्गुरु गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। So the central teaching of Bhagavad Gita and also the 4th chapter is in the 18th verse, which we saw about 2 sessions ago. And what it says is, if I am able to see no action or inaction in me, the Atma, in spite of all the hectic activity that is going on at the Anatma body mind sense complex, that is actually the correct way of looking at myself. I, the Atma, I, the consciousness, is absolutely a karta. There is no kartritvam in the Atma at all. And in spite of all the actions that are going on, which are nothing but transactions between this Anatma body mind sense complex and the Anatma Jagat, actually speaking, no action is done by I, the Atma. No action is going on in me, the Atma. Now, this is the knowledge, yes, but this knowledge has to be understood, and I have to have a total vision of this jnanam, this knowledge. This particular vision of seeing myself as an akarta, abhokta, atma. That is, I am not the doer, I am not the experiencer. What does anything is the body mind sense complex. The experiencer is also nothing but the body mind sense complex. I, the Atma, am free from kartritvam and bhoktritvam. This is the knowledge, yes, I have got. Krishna is giving this knowledge. The Upanishads, that's the central teaching of the Upanishads. But then, how do I really assimilate this knowledge? And how is it that I'm going to really get the whole vision of this knowledge, the Vijnanam or the vision, or what we call as the Samyak Darshanam of this knowledge? That was explained by Lord Krishna in the 24th verse, where he talked about Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi. And how do I get this vision of Akarta, Abhokta, Atma, Ahamasmi? Let me take only Akarta at present. If I'm an Akarta, naturally I'm an abhokta. So let me first see how I can develop this, understand this vision, this wholesome vision of aham akarta atma. And in this 24th verse, Bhagwan gave the method or how I understand this particular knowledge and how I see this as Samyak Darshanam, or the holistic vision or the correct vision of seeing myself as the Akarta Atma. And he said that once I start seeing everything as Atma or Brahman, this entire Anatma Jagat is nothing but the manifestation of names and forms in this consciousness Atma or Brahman, just like all the ornaments, golden ornaments, are arising in the gold. And wherever you see any ornament, gold ornament, there is nothing but gold darshanam. In all abharanas, there is sarvatra gold darshanam. Similarly, in this entire jagat, this is nothing but a name and form, and this entire jagat is nothing but Atman, like the gold is for the ornaments. This Jagat is made up of the warp and woof of this Jagat is nothing but this consciousness, Atma, Brahman, which was called Sarvatra Brahma Darshanam, Sarvatra Atma Darshanam, and this is what is called as the Samyak Darshanam. And by seeing this, that really speaking, there is nothing other than Brahman, I have to apply it to every action or every karma that is done. How do I apply it? Now, whenever any transaction is done, whenever any action is done, there are components of this action. That is what there is a doer. The doer is one component. The object of doing the action is one component. The instrument by which this action is done is one component. The purpose for which this is done is one component, and the location in which this action is done is another component, and the phalam or the result of this action is another component. So we have so many components involved in every action. Minimum 2 components at least have to be in there, and these components are called as karakas. And what Krishna says is, when you see Brahman or Atma in everything as everything, then all the components of the action, including the karta, including the phalam of the action, all the components, all the karakas are nothing but Brahman. So if all the karakas or all the components of action are nothing but Brahman, then where is the doer? Who is the doer? For what purpose the doer is doing an action? What is an action? Where is the action happening? It is not in me. It is simply a gunaha guneshu vartante, this anatma body mind sense complex interacting or transacting with the jagat, which is nothing but Brahma Rupam. This anatma body mind sense complex also is a manifestation of Brahman or Atma, and the jagat is also a manifestation of Brahman and Atma. This is what is the Samyak Darshanam, or the vision of Vedanta, that Aham Akarta Abhokta Atma Asmi Iti. Now, this is called as the Jnana Yajnam. This is what is called as Jnana Yajnam. And Krishna says that there are so many other yajnas done, which he explained, which I explained in the last session also. Those yajnas may be Deva yajnas in the form of offering something to certain deities for getting some benefit out of it, which also I do, keeping Ishvara or keeping God or Lord as the recipient of my actions. There may be other actions which I am doing for the self-discipline itself. And what Krishna says is, if you want to have this Samyak Jnanam, if you want to have this vision of Brahmarpanam Brahmavi, this vision of Aham Akarta Abhokta Atma, this vision of Karmani Akarma Yaha Pashet, which is the central teaching of the entire Shastra, then I have to prepare myself. And if I have to prepare myself, I have to follow certain disciplines. And what are these disciplines? The disciplines at the level of the body in the form of Ashtanga Yoga, at the level of the prana in the form of pranayama, at the level of the sense organs and the mind as shama and dhamma, and also at the level of doing something, sharing something with the jagat as dravya yajna, doing so many forms of tapas or penance for the sake of actually preparing this body mind sense complex. All these are actions ultimately, and all these actions which I'm doing as discipline to develop this particular capacity to understand Brahmarpanam Brahmahavi. Now, this knowledge, this vision is so subtle, so deep, that I have to prepare my intellect for that. And these various yajnas that have been mentioned by Bhagwan, Bahavo Evam Bahuvidha Yajnaha, so many yajnas he mentioned, which we have seen right from the level of the body, mind, sense complex, up to even sharing one's dravyas with the, with the society, with other people, and also evoking the blessings of Ishvara in the form of doing Deva Yajnas, fire rituals, very, very big rituals for the sake of either my benefit or for the benefit of the society. And here what Krishna says is, all these yajnas are called yajnas because number one, there is a discipline involved in it. Number two, I am doing these yajnas as an offering to Ishvara with the Karma Yoga Buddhi. Now, just saying Ishvararpana Buddhya Karyam Kartavyam is not sufficient. I have to really see the meaning of it. I have to understand the meaning of it. And what it means is, when I do all these disciplinary yajnas or discipline evoking yajnas as an offering to the Lord, there are two things involved here. That I am following these disciplines to get the yogyata for this vision. This vision is something which is not going to simply come by just reading or by just, even if the guru tells me that from the Shastra. I need a lot of preparation of my intellect to really get this vision, to really abide in this vision. And therefore, what I need is all these disciplinary yajnas that were mentioned are for the sake of developing that jnana yogyata, that state of the intellect where this akarmani akarmayah pashed brahmarpanam brahmavi, or this jnana yajna, becomes a very, very clear vision to me, where I develop what is called as samyak darshanam. Samyak darshan means the correct vision, the way I have to know myself, the way I have to understand myself. And for this vision, samyak darshanam, what does this vision do? This Samyak Darshanam, I have exposed myself to the Jnana Yoga, to the Shastra, Guru Shastra Vakyas. What happens is then, in this Samyak Darshanam, the very Kartritvam is completely burnt away. Therefore, in the previous verse with which we completed the last session, what did we see? Krishna said that Shreyan, 33rd verse of the 4th chapter. We started this. What did Krishna say here? Shreyan dravya mayad yagnat jnana yagnaha parantapa. Hey Parantapa, hey Arjuna, out of all the yajnas that I have mentioned, all the yajnas are preparatory yajnas, preparatory disciplines to prepare yourself for this final one, which is called as the Jnana Yajna. Why? Because it is this Jnana Yajna which gives me the Samyak Darshanam, which completely burns away all my Kartrutvam, and I see myself as what I really am, as the Akarta Abhokta Atma. No confusion in me, no Ajnanam in me. I no longer consider myself to be the body or the mind or the sense complex or the Karta or the Bhokta. No, I see myself as what I really am, and what the Shastra or the Upanishads are trying to tell me. Hey, see yourself like this. What you are seeing yourself as now at present, it is not that. You are confused, and Shastra is trying to remove this confusion and help me to abide in this Samyak Darshanam, this vision, this Vijnanam. And therefore Krishna says that this Jnanamaya Yajna, this Jnana Yajna is the most sacred. Why? Because it is that Yajna which ultimately makes me abide in my Atma Swarupa. And he says in the next line, this Jnana Yajna is something, the vision of which, what does it do? Sarvam karmakhilam partha jnane parisamapyate. Ultimately, what are all these disciplines meant for? They end ultimately in jnanam, isn't it? Then there is no purpose, there is no further need of all these things, because the very purpose why I'm doing all these yajnas is only to finally understand this vision. Jnane parisamapyate. All these disciplines, all these which I do as yajna, keeping Ishvara to my side, offering these disciplines for the particular development of, or getting this, or having this capacity of the intellect to ultimately see this vision. And with this vision, what happens? In this jnane, sarvam karma akhilam partha parisamapyate. Jnane sarvam karmakhilam jnane parisamapyate. He partha, all the karmas ultimately resolve in this jnanam when I see myself as the akarta, abhokta, atma. Difficult, yes. Subtle, yes. Very deep, yes. But then Krishna is saying this to Arjuna. If it is possible for Arjuna, it is possible for us. What we need is the commitment. That's what he's going to say in the next few verses. The commitment to this Shastra, the commitment to learn this from the Shastra and the Guru, and do whatever is necessary. Take the preparatory steps and don't leave till I get this particular vision. This is our prayatna. It is our swaprayatna. So if I have to know this knowledge now, if I have to understand this properly, just even reading some books also, it is enough. Many of these scholars, they feel that we don't need a guru. Guru is not necessary at all. If we read, we are good enough. I'm a scholar, I know everything, I understand what is. No, that is not enough. What Shastra gives me is only the words and the knowledge. But the vision of what this knowledge means is given only by a guru who has understood how to look at the Shastra, how to understand this knowledge, how to develop this vision. This guru has learned, paramparataya, he has learned from his gurus. Such a tattvadarshi, such a person, such a guru who has seen it, who has the vision, is the only one who can give this vision to me. Therefore, what should I do? I have to surrender myself to the guru. Another very important verse of Bhagavad Gita is the 34th verse, where it says, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshyanti te jnanam jnaninah tattvadarshinaha. So, independently, I cannot learn what really it means. I may be able to rattle out the words of the Gita or the words of Vedanta, but if I have to have the samyak darshanam of this jnanam, if this jnanam has to become vijnanam, if this knowledge has to be very clearly explained the way it has to be given, it can be given only by a tattvadarshi and a jnani guru. Jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha upadekshanti. They will give you this knowledge. When will they give me this knowledge? There are certain conditions without which the Guru and Shastra are not available to us. Shastras are available. You see, if you really look at it, all these material is available everywhere. But how many people are really interested in it? How many people are really exposed to these Shastras? No. How many people have the fortune of finding a guru who can explain these things the way they have to be explained? Therefore, one has to find a guru. One has to surrender to the guru and Shastra for this knowledge. And Krishna says, Tadvidhi. May you know that. What? May you understand that how to get that samyak jnanam or samyak darshanam. Tad means jnanam. Know that jnanam means what? Tad vidvi. May you know that jnanam means what? May you understand what that jnanam really means. May you be able to assimilate what that jnanam means. Tad vidhi. How? We have to approach a jnani, the one who has been a shrotriya, and a Tattvadarshinaha, the one who has nishtha in whatever he has studied, the one who has understood how to see this vision, Samyak Darshana, how it is to be seen, how it is to be understood, how it is to be explained properly. All the subtleties of this explanation, which is known by the Guru because he has got it from his Guru. I have to surrender. How do I surrender to a Guru? Pranipatena. Pranipata means Dirgha Namaskara. Acharya Shankara, Bhagwan Shankara says Dirgha Namaskara. Dirgha Namaskara means what we call Sashtanga Namaskara, where most of our angas are touching the ground when we are, doing this Namaskara. What is the significance of such a Namaskara? It is showing my humility that I want this knowledge from you and I'm humble enough, open enough to take this, receive this knowledge from you, and it is indicating that I surrender to you totally with humility. Pranipataha, falling down at the feet of the Guru. Most of the parts of my body, from the head to the toes, touching the ground, indicating my willingness, my receptivity, and my vinaya or my humility to learn from the Guru. Then sevaya, let us take seva next. Seva means what? Seva means shushrusha, Guru shushrusha. Shushrusha means two things. Doing seva at the kaika level also. Serving the Guru in whatever has to be done to help the Guru, to serve the Guru in the ashram or in the establishment or whatever it is. And also Shushrusha means Shrotum Ichha. Shrotum Ichha is Shushrusha. I should be willing to listen to the Guru. If I have to be willing to listen to the Guru, I should have a prepared mind and I should be able to receive what the Guru is saying without any judgment, without having my own ideas about what it is, having lot of samshayas. He is going to say that in the Krishna is going to talk about it. I should have the shraddha. I should not have any samshaya in what the Guru and Shastra are saying. I should have only the keen capacity and the interest in listening to what the Guru says. So sevaya means shushrusha also. Shushrusha means shrotumicha. At the same time, the willingness to serve physically what the Guru wants me to do, to help him in whatever way he wants. And pariprashnena, asking the relevant questions. Not asking questions simply because I want to ask some question and attract some attention. There are some people in the class we find, when gurus take classes, they'll ask a very question. They think it's a big question. They want to attract attention of the other people in the class. No, it is not that. Pariprashnena means how much I have really understood. I chew the cud over what the Guru has said. I try to do mananam over that. And still I find that I have certain blocks, certain areas of dark corners in what the Guru has told me. And pariprashnena, adequate question at the proper time, at the appropriate time, an appropriate question is asked, pariprashnena. So the Guru knows that you have listened, at the same time you have given a thought over it, and you are asking a relevant question. An appropriate and relevant question has to be asked. And then what do? Upadekshanti te jnanam. If the Guru feels that you are fit for this knowledge, if the Guru assesses that this Shishya has enough of Chitta Shuddhi, enough of Chitta Naischalyam, he has done enough of Karma Yoga, enough of Upasana, and now he is fit to receive this knowledge, then the Guru will not hold back anything. The Guru will give everything that has to be given. Upadekshanti te, these jnaninaha, tattvadarshinaha, those who have got this knowledge from parampara, Guru Shishya parampara, they have got it. Like our Gurus, they have got this paramparataya, they have got this knowledge, which Advaita Jnanam, which they are giving us. And such Gurus will definitely give this jnanam. Giving this jnanam means what? Giving this jnanam means making this knowledge, making these words of the Shastra clearly understood by us. That's it. It is said that Shastra is the pramana. That is the only pramana. What is pramana? Means of knowledge. Shastra is the only means of knowledge in this regard as far as Atma is concerned, Atma Jnanam is concerned. And Guru is the one who has got the key to unlock that pramana. Guru has the means to actually, wield this pramana and then give this to us the way it has to be given. Therefore, may you not do any independent study of the Shastra. Shastrajna api, even a scholar, Brahma vicharam swatantrena na kuryat. It is said in one of the bhashyas of one of the Upanishads, Acharya Shankara says, you may be a scholar, but please do not go to Atmajnana independently, swatantrena. It has to be given by a guru. So he says that what kind of a knowledge is this that is given? Because he said Jnana Yajnam is the Sreshtaha. Shreyan Jnanamaya Yajnaha Dravyamayad Yajnat. That means this is the most sacred one. Why is this knowledge? Understand what is this knowledge? This Samyak Darshanam, seeing myself the way I have to see myself. What is it that I have to see myself as? I'm not the Anatma body mind sense complex. I am the Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Akarta Abhokta Atma Brahma Aham Asmi. This is the vision that I have to get. It takes time. It takes lifetimes of study, lifetimes of Shravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasanam. It is not something that comes by just listening to the Guru or Shastra, just for a few months and saying, I have gone through all the Upanishads. It's in somebody said, I have gone through all the Upanishads. I have gone through entire Bhagavad Gita. I have gone through Brahma Sutra. The Guru asked, you might have gone through all of them. How much of all that you have studied has gone through you? You have gone through. How much has gone through you? That is more important. So we have to have the patience, because this is something which is the most precious one. And to get anything very precious, I have to make an effort. I have to wait. It is not only the grace of the Lord, but it is also, so many things are involved here. Ishvara Kripa is involved. Shastra Kripa is involved. Guru Kripa is involved. And Swayam Atma Kripa is involved. Without all this knowledge is not possible to be assimilated and get the full benefit of this jnanam. So what is the benefit of this jnanam? He says in the 35th verse, Krishna says, Yajñātvā na punarmoham yevam yasyasi pandava yena bhutanya sheshena drakshasyatmanyatho mayi. So he says here that Yajñātvā, understanding this knowledge, karmani akarma yaha pashed brahmarpanam brahmahavihi iti aham akarta abhokta atma iti, this jnanam, this samyak darshanam, na punarmoham yasyasi he Pandava. Hey Pandava, you will never get back into that confusion again, because this knowledge completely, totally removes all the ajnanam which is the cause for my moha. Moha means what? Misunderstanding, wrong notions about myself, that aham karta asmi, aham bhokta asmi, aham shariram asmi, aham mana asmi. All these things are because of ajnanam of my own swarupam. The viveka of my own swarupam is not there. There is a aviveka with regarding to my own swarupa, which this jnanam removes totally. This jnanam is the viveka jnanam, which removes all my aviveka, and I, the Atma, shine pristinely in my own true swarupa. I reveal, this Atma reveals itself to me. And when I see myself the way I have to see, I will never get back into this confusion again, because the very root of confusion, the very seed of confusion called as ignorance or avidya has been removed. And then such a person sees me in everything. Okay, that means what? You will see me, means Krishna is talking about himself as this Atma. You will see me, which is nothing but yourself, which is nothing but Atma or Brahman, you will see in Bhutani Asheshena. In everything, you will see me as the Kshetrajna, which is going to be talked about in the 13th chapter. You will see me, or this person who has understood this very clearly, this Samyak Darshanam makes him see this Atma Kshetrajna in all the kshetras, in all the upadhis, in all body, mind, sense complexes. So now, is this knowledge something which is available for only people who have done punya? Supposing, say, I have, led a life of, say, adharma. I have done a lot of papa earlier. Does it mean that this knowledge is not really for me? No. What Krishna says is here, this knowledge will give the same phalam, the same result, even in a person who has been adharmic or who has been a papi before, because ultimately this knowledge destroys the ignorance in anybody. But of course, this adharmic papi has to go through these steps. He can't simply just, it cannot come. He has to go through karma yoga. He has to live a life of dharma, even though he has done lot of demerits, in the sense lot of, what we will not call it sin, we'll call it papa, lot of papas that have been done earlier. Adharmic life he has led, doesn't matter. But if he has, a vision, a goal to develop or come to this vision, and if he has gone through this entire ladder of sadhanas which Krishna has given, starting with sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, having the goal as, moksha, he has become a mumukshu, gone through karma yoga, chitta shuddhi, jnana yoga, jnana prapti, and then sacha jnanam has to destroy all the papas, because all my papas and punyas are also the results of my ajnanam, the results of the aviveka about my own swarupam. So he says, he tells Arjuna, अपि चेदसि पापेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः पापकृत्तमः सर्वं ज्ञानप्लवेनैव वृजिनं सन्तरिष्यसि. Arjuna, don't worry. What you have done before, what you have not done before, it has no meaning at all. Even if a ghora papa has been done by somebody earlier, but then if you have gone through this entire sadhana of karma yoga, jnana yoga, jnanam, and when you have gone to the guru properly, all these things, the way this whole thing has been built up right from the second chapter, sadhanas have been built up from mumukshutvam, it has started. And then what is that knowledge? It has started. Atma Anatma Viveka has started. Karma Yoga has been explained. Jnana Yoga, what is it? What is the Samyak Darshanam has been explained. And ultimately going to the Guru and getting this Samyak Darshanam, that also has been explained. And the one who follows this, goes through it, doesn't matter what his past has been, doesn't matter how much papa he has done. Sarvam Vrijinam, all the papas, Vrijinam, in the, Sarvam Vrijinam, Jnana Plavenaiva. Plava means a small boat or a raft. This Jnanam is like a raft or a small boat which can take you across an ocean of Vrijinas or papas. Santarishyati. Okay, Samyak Tarishyasi. Samyak Tarishyasi means you will cross over without any difficulty. You will not sink in the middle. You follow what I have told you. Doesn't matter if you have done adharma earlier. It doesn't matter at all. There is no human being, there is no jiva who has not done adharma. There is no jiva who has not done papa. We are all a mixture of papa punyas. But then if I'm a mumukshu and if my purushartha nishchaya is that of moksha, and if I follow these steps properly, then this small raft or a boat of this samyak jnanam or samyak darshanam, aham akarta abhokta atma asmi iti jnana plavena sarvam vrajinam santarishyasi. Hey Arjuna, you will cross over all the entire ocean of all your previous karmas and karma phalas. They may be in the form of papa, They may be in the form of punya, it doesn't matter. And how is it that this jnanam completely makes this account nil of your papas and punyas? That is what is told in the next verse, in the 37th verse, where Krishna says, Yathai dhamsi samidhognihi bhasmasat kurute Arjuna jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute tatha. Another very, very important verse. Fourth chapter has got very, very important verses related to this knowledge. Jnana plavena, he said, even a small boat of jnanam. How did this jnanam completely purify all the papas and punyas that have been standing in my account? Sanchita karmas, all the Sanchita karmas that are standing in my account, which make me come back again and again and again into this samsara chakra, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. What about all the karmas that I am going to do henceforth, which again bind me? What about all the prarabdha karmas that are there? What happens to all of them? What happens to Sanchita karma and agami karma? He's talking about it here. He says, this knowledge is like fire. Jnanagnihi. Jnanameva agnihi iti jnanagnihi. This knowledge, like fire, what does it do? Yatha yathai yedamsi samidognihi bhasmasat kurute. When there is a conflagration of fire, whatever you add into it, you add samit into it, you add any pieces of wood or whatever, what happens? It completely bhasmi karoti. Bhasmasat kurute means bhasmi karoti. It completely makes them into ashes. Similarly, all my sanchita karmas standing in my account, this jnana agni completely destroys them so that they cannot again flower or fruit. What about the agami karmas? The karmas that I am going to do, the actions that I am going to do henceforth after getting this jnanam. When I am doing all the actions now onwards as an akarta, then naturally the karma phalas do not accrue to me. Therefore, it is as though the agami karmas or the henceforth to be done karmas are also completely burnt. Yatha edamsi samidognihi bhasmasat kurute bhasmi karoti agnihi. Okay, the wood is complete, whatever you put into that. Similarly, jnana eva, jnana rupi agnihi or jnana agnihi. Okay, what does it do? Sarva karmani, all my karmas, all the sanchita karmas, agami karmas with their phalas are completely burnt away. What remains is the prarabdha karma, which has already started, which is only meant for this body and mind. Therefore, till the prarabdha karma continues, the body continues to exist. But for a jnani, it is not his prarabdha. He doesn't say, my prarabdha is still there. No. Even prarabdha karma is gone or burnt for a jnani because he knows that the prarabdha karma is meant for this anatma body, not for me. Therefore, he is not affected by the karma phalas of either the sanchita or the prarabdha or the agami karmas. What are prarabdha, agami, sanchita karma, karma phala? Again, care of tattva bodha. Okay, so bhasmasat kurute, that means this is the power of this knowledge, and it does not simply do it slowly one by one. No, once for all, simultaneously, just like a big conflagration of fire, in no time burns everything that comes into its contact. Similarly, once this samyak vision, samyak darshanam, or this vision is developed, then all the karmas, karma phalas standing in my account are totally burnt. That means what? The seed of ajnanam is roasted. That is what he says in the next verse. Jnanagni dagdha karmani means all my karmas are completely burnt. And therefore, in the next verse, Krishna says, there is nothing more sacred and nothing more of a purifier or benefactor as this knowledge. Because The highest purifier we say is Agni, isn't it? That is the one which is the ultimate purifier from what we know in our Vyavaharika Prapancha. But actually, what is said is there is something higher than Agni, which is this Jnanam, this Paramarthika Jnanam, this Atma Jnanam, Aham Akarta Abhokta Iti Jnanam, Swarupa Jnanam, Samyak Darshanam of what I am. This is the one which is the utmost benefactor, the utmost purifier, because like Agni, it burns away all the impurities of karmas and the karma phalas. So in the 38th verse he says, Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitramiha vidyate tatsvayam yoga samsiddhaha kalenatmani vindati. So here he says, jnanena sadrisham, equivalent to this Samyak Jnanam, equivalent to this Atma Jnanam, equivalent of this vision, Nahi Pavitram Iha Vidyate, nothing more sacred, nothing more purifying, nothing more beneficiary than this knowledge, the fire of knowledge. Therefore, Tat Swayam Yoga Samsiddhaha. The Karma Yogi, Yoga Samsiddhaha here means the Karma Yogi Swayam Kalena Atmani Vindati. This Karma Yogi who has followed this path properly, ultimately in time gets this knowledge, and this knowledge purifies this Karma Yogi. Therefore, may you not be impatient, Arjuna. Directly going to the jnana without preparing this intellect does not really give you kalena, he says. Be a karma yogi. Do your karma. Maya idam kartavyam iti ishwararpana buddhya. Do the karma. Over a period of time, you will have the capacity to receive this jnanam. You will be fit enough to receive this jnanam. And once you receive this jnanam, Guru, Shastra, Upadeshataya, when you get this knowledge, ultimately, Kalena, over a period of time, this will give you the same result of moksha as a sannyasi or a jnani is trying to get. Therefore, Arjuna, Karma Yoga Samsiddha Bhava. Yoga Samsiddha Bhava means Karma Yoga Samsiddha Bhava. And you cannot be denied of this particular what? This kind of purification where you are no longer affected by either of the karmas of the past or the future or their karma phalas. Kalena Atmani Vindati Yoga Samsiddha. Karma Yoga Samsiddha. Fine. All this is true, but then to have this jnanam again, just going to the Guru is not enough. Just going to the Guru and falling at his feet and then asking seva is not sufficient. There are 2 or 3 more very important conditions which are necessary for this knowledge to be converted to Samyak Darshanam. What are they? He says here, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatpara sanyatendriyaha jnanam labdhva param shantim achirenadhigacchati. So, when you go to the Guru and when you want to study Shastra, most important thing is Shraddha. Why Shraddha? Because I am trying to learn something about me, myself, and I am not an object of perception. And what I see is not I, and what I don't see is my real nature. And it is only the Shastra and Guru Vakya, Guru Upadesha, which can really give me this knowledge. Therefore, I have to have the Shraddha. I have to have the trust and the Shraddha in not only the Pramanam, the means of knowledge that is the Shastra. I should have the Shraddha in the Guru also, who wields this knowledge. So, what is Shraddha? Guru Shastra Vakyeshu Astikya Buddhihi. Satyatva Buddhihi. Guru Vakyeshu Shastra Vakyeshu Astikya Buddhihi or Satyatva Buddhihi, what is called as Shraddha. and I should carry that Shraddha long enough, because initially I will find that whatever the Shastra is telling me and Guru is telling me is totally unacceptable by me, because my vision is entirely opposite to what the Shastra's vision is. It is going to take me a long time to unlearn from my mistakes, I have to unlearn my present idea of myself, and I have to slowly get that real vision of myself. It is not that easy unless I have the trust, the Shraddha in Shastra and Guru. It is not possible. So when I approach the Guru, I should be full of Shraddha. That is why Shraddha is one of the Shamadhi Shatka Sampattis in Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. Again, Tattvabodha. So, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. It is only a person with Shraddha will get this jnanam. Why? A person without Shraddha, what will happen? 2-3 days he will go and then he will leave. He'll say, anyway, I don't understand anything, and I think it's all just, a matter of few words here and there. It doesn't mean anything. I don't think it is. This is Ashraddha. I have to sufficiently, wait, and I have to have the patience. So he says, with Shraddha, what do you need? Tat paraha. I should have the tat paratvam. That means commitment to knowing that. I have made my commitment. Now I'm finding it difficult to understand. Actually, I'm not understanding anything, but I'm going to be committed to it. I'm going to give it whatever effort it takes, whatever time it takes. Tat paraha. Committed. I should be Shraddhavan and I should be tat paraha. Tat paraha means what? Committed to this knowledge. And then Sanyatendriyaha. I must have managed my raga dveshas sufficiently by doing karma yoga. For this jnanam, there is no shortcut. No shortcut for this jnanam. It has to be, it is a hall. It is something which I have to go the right way. There is no shortcut to this. I have to be Sanyatendriyaha. I have to be together. I have to have Shama Damadi Anvita mind and sense organs. So just going to the Guru and asking is not sufficient. I have to have Shraddha backed by commitment to this knowledge, Tatparatvam, and also I have to be constantly watching that I'm a Sanyata Indriya, Raga Dvesha managed Indriyas I should have. Then only such a person Jnanam lodbha param shantim gachati. It gives me that param shantim, that shanti for which there is no comparison. When I have this vision, the samyak darshanam of aham, akarta, abhokta, atma, asmi, that shanti, that I abide in is Swarupa Shanti. It is not a simple peace of mind which I get for a few minutes by doing something, listening to some good music. No, it is not that. This is Param Shantim Adhigachati when Achirena. Okay, soon enough. Krishna doesn't say immediately. And he previously also said Kalena, Achirena, does not take long. If you are tatpara, that means you are committed to it, you have the Shraddha in it, you are Sanyatendriya, you have done enough of Karma Yoga, you have gone to the Guru, and you have surrendered to the Shastra Vakya and Guru Vakya, Achirena. It won't take long before this Jnanam creates the vision that frees you totally from all the karmas and karma phalas. So in the next verse he says, if there is ashraddha, the person doesn't get anything at all, because anyway 2-3 days he'll go and leave it. After that he won't follow. He will continue to follow his usual, samsara, whatever he's doing. He will get, raga dvesha, full of, this karmas made up, prompted by raga dvesha. So his, kama, artha kama purusharthas, he will continue. Anyway, maybe he's not meant for this pursuit of jnanam in this life. So if he has no shraddha, it's all right. He won't lose anything. He'll only lose the chance of this knowledge. But then he will go back to his prakrita lifestyle. It's okay. Ajnaha also. A person who does not know anything, does not come to this shastra, also doesn't matter. He remains Agnya. But the worst fellow is what? The one who comes to this Jnanam and has all the time samshayas, samshayatma. Ayo, I have come now. Whether it is really there or not, Shraddha is shaken because of his samshaya. So here he says that the one who is most dangerous here, who comes to this Jnanam, Jnana Yoga, is Samshayatma. Samshayatma means the one who is full of samshayas. For him, here also there are samshayas, in this Jagat also. In Artha Kama also he has samshaya. He doesn't trust anybody. He doesn't believe in anything anyway. He always has samshaya whatever he does. Now, such a person neither can enjoy the Jagat, Artha Kama Purusharthas, nor does he get this Jnanam. He is completely destroyed. That's what he says. Krishna is saying in the next verse, in the 40th verse. Agnyascha shraddadhanascha samshayatma vinashyati nayam lokosti na paraha na sukham samshayatmanaha. This person who is a doubting Thomas, who doubts everything, here also in Arthakama Purushartha also he doubts. He doesn't trust anybody's words, forget about Guru's words or Shastra's words. Nothing he doubts. If he's an Agnya or an Agnani, he will remain an Agnani, but at least he will enjoy the Sukham of this Jagat. He may not get this Jnanam. If he's a Ashraddhadhana also, he will not come to the Shastra at all. Or even if he comes to the Shastra, he finds it useless for him and leaves it and goes back to his pursuit of Arthakama. So Arthakama will give him whatever Sukha he has to get in this life alone. Both of them come back again and again and again. Their life goes on like that mechanically, like a giant wheel going round and round. That's okay. But Samshayatma Vinashyati. Why Samshayatma Vinashyati? Nayam Lokosti. Na Ayam Lokosti. Here also he has no trust, no faith, samshaya in everything, in every whatever it is. So here also he does not experience any sukha. Here also he does not achieve any purushartha, not even dharma, artha, kama purushartha. Forget about the other world or the lokas, other purushartha, moksha purushartha. Nayam lokosti na paraha. This fellow doesn't have this loka or even the next loka. Next loka means what? After death, if you do punya, you may go to higher lokas. That's what our Shastra says, Veda says. But this is a person who's doubting. So he does not do anything. He does not do even probably puja. He does not do any purely raga dvesha prompted lifestyle. Purely arthakama prompted lifestyle. But even there, he does not get any kind of a happiness or advantage. Therefore, hey Arjuna, doesn't matter if you are an Ajnani and remain Ajnani throughout this life. Doesn't matter if you don't have Shraddha in this life, maybe you may come. But don't be a Samshayatma. If you are a Samshayatma and doubt everything, you are neither here nor there. You have wasted this life also and you are not going to Iha, that is Nayam Lokosti na paro paraha na paraloka api na sukham samshayatmanaha. A Samshayatma never gets any kind of a sukha also here. So in the next, we'll try to finish it today. If not, I mean, we can take it the next time with the last verse. Now, what does he say? Krishna says then he's trying to do the upasamhara here, the last two verses. Krishna says, Yoga sanyasta karmanam jnana sanchinna samshayam Atmavantam na karmani nibadnanti dhananjaya. The karmas, the karma phalas do not bind a person. Which kind of a person is this? Now Krishna again gives the whole ladder of sadhanas. Atmavantam, the one who is an Atmavanta, the one who knows the Swarupam of his Atma. Then Yoga Sanyasta Karmanam, that person, he's talking about a person, Yoga Sanyasya Karmanaha, Atmavantaha, Jnana Sanchina Samshayaha, these are all the names given to this Jnani. And for such a person, Yoga Sanyasta Karmanam, as a Karma Yogi, He has surrendered all his karmas and karma phalas to Ishvara. As a jnana yogi also, to this jnanam has cleared off and burnt off all his karmas. Therefore, yoga sannyasta karmanam, the one who as a sadhana has given up sannyastam karmanam, given up all the karmas to offer to Ishvara as a sadhana, as a karma yogi, and as a jnana yogi who has given up, or the jnanam which has burnt all the karmas and karma phalas, such a person is called as a yoga sannyasta karmanaha. He is talking about both of them here, a karma yogi as well as a jnana yogi. And such a person, what happens? Jnana sanchinna samshayaha he becomes. For a jnana sanchinna samshayaha or jnana sanchinna samshayam atmavantam, for such a person for whom jnana sanchinna samshaya, all the doubts and confusions about me, the atma, are gone by this jnanam. This jnanam has removed all the confusions, all the doubts about my nature. For such a person, who is called an atmavantah? For an atmavantam, karmani, actions, na nibadnanti, they will not bind him. The previous actions, the sanchita karmas and karma phalas have been burnt, and then the next one is the agami karmas are also completely going to be without any kind of a seed which germinates into karma phala. No karma phala accrues. Prarabdha phala just is expended by the body, mind, sense complex, and the person is free. Jnanagni dagdha karmanam atmavantam karmani, the karmas of the past or the present or the future and their phalas, na nibadnanti he dhananjaya, hey Arjuna, they don't bind him. Therefore, what are you supposed to do, Arjuna? तस्मादज्ञानसम्भूतं हृत्स्थं ज्ञानासिनात्मनः छित्त्वैनं संशयं योगम् आतिष्ठोत्तिष्ठ भारत. हे भारत, भारतवंश कुलोद्भव, yogam atishta, take up this yoga. Which yoga here? Karma yoga, because he's talking to Arjuna here. May you take up to this karma yoga. Take up to this karma yoga which leads to jnana yoga, which leads to moksha. Take up to this karma yoga. Yogam atishta, hold on to this karma yoga. Uttishta, get up and do your job. Give up all your doubts to me. I will take care of the results of your karma. Chitva yenam samshayam. Get rid of all your samshayas. By what? Jnana asina. By the sword of this knowledge. This knowledge is like Agni, which was compared earlier. It is like a sword which completely uproots the tree of Ajnana. Therefore, Jnana asina. By this sword of knowledge, He Dhananjaya, He Bharata, Ajnana sambhutam hritstam. Hridi sthitam. Hridaye sthitam ajnanam jnana asina chitva. That ajnanam and samshaya which is there in your heart right now, that ajnanam which is in your heart, hritstham, hridaya sthitam ajnanam jnana asina, by the sword of this knowledge, chitva, completely uprooting it, samshayam, yena samshayam, chitva, कर्म योगम आतिष्ठ हे भारत उत्तिष्ठ युद्धाय युज्यस्व. That's what he said. Get up and fight. Therefore, Arjuna, karma yoga leading to jnana yoga, leading to jnanam, and leading to what is called as sarva karma sannyasam is ultimately the very ladder of sadhana. Right now, Arjuna, you have to make yourself fit for this. Remove all your samshayas and yogam atishta, karma yogam atishta. With this, the fourth chapter is completed. Om Tat Sat iti Shri Bhagavad Gita Su उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे ज्ञानकर्मसन्न्यासयोगो नाम चतुर्थोऽध्यायः। ॐ नन्दन्तु साधका सर्वे विनश्यन्तु विदूषकाः अवस्थाशाम्भवी मेस्तु प्रसन्नोऽस्तु गुरुः सदा। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखमाप्नुयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। कृष्णार्पणमस्तु।